Fireballs in all directions. One of the things that we see here is a place called the Last Whiskey Bar. It's a Charr entertainment establishment. It's basically an arena, but it's an event as well. So what you've quickly seen we have a voting system in place. That means all the players that participate can basically vote which opponent they want to fight next. The system counts the votes, and then it decides which opponents you are fighting next.
And this is just a good example of how diverse our event system is. We have so many different types of events that covers so many different types of content. They're not just a simple go collect some X number of things, but we have all sorts of different types of events that range from Charr fighting in a pit to defeating a large epic dragon. And it allows us to create content that spans these huge maps that is ever changing and evolving all throughout your play experience.
The one thing, it's a visual thing. What you see there, like the war standard, that is a skill that the warrior has. He summons it, and he positions it, it buffs players around him. The thing is, every player can pick this basically up and take it and put it to another place. So, but in that case, it turns itself into an environmental weapon.
It's another thing that we try to do is create a combat that you want to move around in. Not only do we have skills that force you to move around and tactically change combat, but a lot of the monster skills will create zones and control, things that will damage you if you don't get out of the area, or powerful attacks that'll damage you if you don't move. And so we really will try to promote some active movement and combat, dodging back and forth. And these are kind of things that really try to make the combat feel more alive and actiony.
An interesting thing you see here, it's more a visual thing, but as you can see, we have day and night cycle in Guild Wars 2. So currently it's night, and the weapon set that Leah is carrying at the moment, it's the Ascalon Ghostly set. So you see this glowing blue and the skull that is on the shield. During daytime, this looks like a normal shield and a normal mace, but during nighttime, the whole weapon set switches its appearance when we have a couple of those in the game.
Yeah, one interesting part of that is the weapon set normally gains life during the day, but when it comes to night, it starts stealing life from the enemies. So it's kind of part of our item system is to really incorporate the day-to-night cycle along with giving us a real interesting item system.
We're running now into Steel Ice Band. Steel Ice Band is a Charr fortress that the Charr set up at the brand to protect themselves and defend themselves against the hordes that constantly crash at them. And every time we go in there, we have absolutely no idea what happens because there are so many events, dynamic events happen at Steel Ice Band that basically every demo, it's something different. Oh, what we tell just quickly, I think Leah is rezzing someone. Can you tell us a little bit how that's work?
So, every single character can just walk up and resurrect anyone. You don't need a special skill on your bar. You don't need a special profession. And you can res a lot of NPCs or players. And here we see our warrior running in and resurrecting a bunch of the merchants and fallen NPCs that have been overtaken by the brand in this area. And then they will immediately get up and start helping fight. And so when you come into the area, you have different choice. You can try clearing out the monsters yourself, or you can resurrect some allies to get help. These are the same NPCs that once you've cleared out the area that are going to be the merchants and NPCs that you'll talk to and sell around. And this area was also taken over and overrun by the brand and created this event that existed. It's just continually part of our event system where these events will be created by constant flowing of chains of events that happen. And it creates an ever-evolving world that as you're moving through these maps, everything changes, so you can come back and back to a map and it'll always be different.
So while we talk about resurrection and stuff, let's talk about what happens when you basically, in other games you would normally die. In our game you don't instantly die, so I think we will just fake this now. So what we enter now something that is called the down status.
So we have a different kind of state when you go down. Instead of dying, you can fight for your life to try to get back. If you're able to finish off a monster before your health runs out, you'll be able to rally and come back to life and get back into the fray. If your consciousness meter goes down, you will then be defeated and have to be resurrected by another player or return to a waypoint.
So, and I think we're almost close to the end of the demo. Izzy, anything else you want to say about our combat system?
Yeah, there's many combinations in our combat system. We have many weapons that you can choose from and traits that can modify all of those skills and really give you a lot of combinations and a lot of character building that you can do. And then on top of that, you can also swap out on the right side of your bar all of the skills, your utility skills, your healing skill, and your elite skill. This really allows you to get a large variety of combinations and builds and allows you to be very different from everybody else. And I encourage you to play the demo, check it out, make your own characters, play around with it, play around with the trait system, and talk to any one of us and any questions you have. I'll be glad to answer anything you have, and so will any of us.
Yeah, that is an important thing. If you see anybody wearing this shirt, don't hesitate coming up to us and ask us questions. We are here to answer them. Well, Leah, would you salute the crowd after you finish that mob off? There we go. We salute you. And with this, we finish our demo.
Thanks a lot for coming out.
Thanks a lot, Izzy, for helping me out. We have a beer afterwards. So.